All right, welcome to the Straight Red Card. Today we are going to take on a general overview, a synopsis, a thought, our thoughts regarding the USA versus Haiti game.
And I believe that this performance is going to outperform their performance.
You mean our performance?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, geez, don't set the bar too high, Brett. And before we start, I got to do the usual. Let me get my thing out here. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I got to, if you're out there, make sure you like the video, love the video, rub it on body parts or whatever you got to do, but like it. All right. Share it with your neighbors, your mayor, subscribe. Got to keep subscribing. That helps us grow. Tell people who you don't like very much that they need to subscribe as well. And we'll keep growing. And we have Patreon now, Brett, as you well know.
Yep.
And so go to the Patreon page and just inhale it through a straw into your nose like you would at an 80s dance party. All right. So get all that done. And now we'll start the show. I guess, before we even get to that, I do want to address, because if we don't, it's like we're avoiding it. But England did lose to Italy today in a shootout. And I was going for England, even though the English media is insufferable with its whole "it's coming home" thing, which I think is ridiculous because England's never even won a Euro before. So how do you bring something home that you're saying is lost that you never lost in the first place because you never had it? Does that make sense?
Not even the slightest. And I would like to extend a congratulations to Filippo, a tactical manager, for England losing.
What did he have to do with it?
Oh, no. He just doesn't like England.
Oh, okay. Well, because a lot of English soccer fans are insufferable. Not all of them. Don't take that personally. Anybody that watches our show and you're half English or you were from England or you're Simon Allen, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the press in particular are insufferable. The fact that they were chanting, "it's coming home," like the whole beginning of the game, you're like, it's coming home, what? Because you invented the sport? Like, you've never won a Euro. You don't get to own a trophy that you never owned before. It's so, anyhow. So we got that out of the way. And just a quick shout to TNT for putting up a really good battle against Mexico last night. And I don't know. Do you have anything to add to that one, Brett, on Mexico? No. Did you watch the Mexico game?
Nope, I was out on vacation.
I don't blame you. It was
just got
on
back today.
It was on at like freaking, dark o'clock. And then Canada had a little skirmish there at the beginning with Martinique, but yeah, they were going to win that game. So, and we should crush Martinique. So let's get to this, Brett. USA comes out with a 1-0 win versus Haiti. And the thing that stood out for me the most, this is my first commentary, is the absolutely disgusting tongue-loving, lashing, licking fox people covering this game. It wasn't until the very end that Lala said, this isn't good enough. But boy, it was a tongue bath. Like the whole game and the whole preview of the game and legit is legit. And God, it was just the most ridiculously puke-worthy coverage I've ever watched. And I don't know if you felt the same way.
Well, I mean, legit wasn't legit today. But no, I think a lot of people are finally catching on to the shills will shill.
Oh my God.
And it was, I mean, you don't necessarily bite the hand that feeds you. I understand that you don't where you eat, same thing. But come on, let's be a little critical, guys.
Just a little critical. Yeah, just a little. I mean, I'm quoting Lawless. Beginning of the game said, players on this team will start and star in the World Cup for the United States men's national team. Okay, which players? If you're going to say something so ridiculous, at least say, okay, there are a couple of players that might start and star, but don't say there are players. Just make this giant, vast, ridiculous general comment. And Lawless was just aggravating me. I think I texted you and said the hate is flowing within me. Well,
Derek, he was right because he was talking about Acosta.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The funny thing is, Acosta played really well.
Yeah. No, I wasn't joking around by saying him, but I was joking around about him being right. But
yeah, exactly. I mean, not a single one of those dumb fuckers mentioned. God damn it! I already cursed. Not a single one of them mentioned a thing about Jonathan Lewis starting at left wing. None of them said, that's kind of peculiar. I didn't even think he should make this team, and yet he's starting at left forward.
Even winger? If they can make an argument for him being on the team, how could you make an argument for him starting? The only way you can make an argument for starting is that Berhalter failed to bring any other wide options outside of him and Areola. And then we're throwing Gio Caccini and Hoppy on the wings now. And today it was actually Zardes that ended up going there, but
I would have thrown Hoppy's dead carcass on the left wing before I would have.
Well, no, I agree with you on that. That's what I'm saying. You can make I guess they could try to make an argument as far as why he's on the team, but I don't think you could make an argument for why he should start.
Yeah.
He simply did nothing.
He did. He was a ghost from the start to the finish of his 50, 60. He got 60 minutes to do nothing. He should have been pulled at halftime. And he wasn't pulled. So we didn't get to see Hoppy, even though Greg told us Hoppy's a winger. So we didn't get to see Hoppy, and that sucked. We got to watch Lewis's lame ass, who can't even make the Colorado Rapids starting lineup on a regular basis.
Well, shit, he showed it. He showed why he can't make the Colorado team.
Yes, he did. What is Greg seeing?
I don't know.
We're not seeing. New York City FC got rid of him, Lewis. Like, they didn't care. They were like, yeah, Colorado, have him. We don't see any future in this guy. Yet
we'll take a 4th round draft pick, please. Just take him.
Exactly. And yet this is a guy who's not good enough for the Colorado Rapids, but is good enough for the United States men's team. I'm still baffled by that, and it just blows me away. The other starter that blew me away, but didn't surprise either you or me, was Ewell. We knew it was going to be Ewell, Acosta, and Leggett. I think we both called that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like how you're using blown away in a negative term. I mean, I was like, another player we were blown away by, and I was like, oh, who's it going to be? And he said, Ewell. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, negatively blown away.
Negatively blown
by such a poor performance.
It was so blah.
I mean,
it was so not good.
He played himself off the team, in my opinion. Because Busio came in.
Opinion, but not Greg's, probably.
No, yeah, probably not. But Busio came in for his limited amount of time that he had and showed significantly more.
Yeah, his very first touch was sketchy. Then after that, it got better. But I thought Williamson came on and looked good too.
Yeah,
looked
absolutely.
better than Ewell.
Yeah.
So enough with the Ewell shit, Berhalter. We're done.
You literally took one of my points there, because I had one of my points was Eriksson and Busio were already showing more than what Ewell has done.
Yeah, you meant Williamson, not Eriksson.
Yes, I don't know why I said Eriksson. It's Williamson.
You Danish motherfucker. All right.
I'm sure Eriksson has too,
Well, yeah. And then I'm not talking about the Eriksson that actually plays. There are just a lot of people in Denmark named Eriksson. A lot of people. So I'm not talking about the specific player on the Danish team. But yeah, it's just weird but you know what? People were still surprised to see Leggett, Acosta, and Ewell. And we weren't.
They're not paying attention. That's the problem. They're not paying attention.
The only predictions we got wrong is Lewis started. and we had Cannon who would have started, but didn't because he had a hammy issue. And so Shaq Moore started, and Shaq Moore was fucking great.
He lit it up. the gap between the last time he played for the United States and playing now, it was immense. Because in the past, I even mentioned this in a previous show, he was a great 1v1 defender, but he was not a defender to get up into the attack. Well, he got up into the attack today.
Yes, he did.
All up in the attack.
Does that say something about how good the Spanish second division really is? It's not bad.
I mean, yeah, he's definitely not languishing down there. But what? Go ahead, finish your point.
I was going to say, because I mean, if you play in the Spanish first division, you're just a really awesome player. But if you're a regular and you start every game for Tenerife in the second division in Spain, you're still probably a really good player.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm glad he got the call up. I'm glad he got the start. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. Well, no, I to that point with Moore, I think it's an interesting point to bring up is that Moore has done exactly what Araujo could have done. Because we talked about how, like, well, after Dest, it's Yedlin, Cannon, and now Moore's there. It was lining up. But quite frankly, that second spot behind Dest is never really a surefire thing. And Moore stepped up here and has made a name for himself.
Can I ask you this? Honestly, do you think Cannon would have played as well as Moore did?
No.
Well, I don't.
No. I will say that, but then every now and then Cannon does make me eat crow. But no, I don't think he would have outplayed Moore in this specific game.
No, I don't think so.
So again, that's what I'm saying. Moore basically took himself as a nobody in Berhalter's standpoint, because this was the first match Moore's played for Berhalter, and he significantly increased his odds of cracking beyond Cannon and possibly even Yedlin, for that matter, if he continues to play this well throughout the Cup.
Yeah, I mean, he looked really good, and I get it. It's Haiti. But Haiti ain't, poo on the wall. They're decent. They're all right. They ain't great, but they're, you're not going to just like toss them away. They're going to fight. And they did pretty good. The other thing that annoyed me was Berhalter's press conference before. And I don't know if you saw it, but when he was asked about why Lewis was on the team, and he went on to praise Lewis, and he said, Lewis really provides balance. He adds balance and fluidity. Fuck you.
Dude.
Fuck you, Greg. Quit using word salad, you cocksucker. I'm going to have to probably bleep some of that, but come on. I'm sick of his fucking blabbermouth word salad where we're going to break the lines. We're going to play between the lines. We're going to disorganize the defense. Just shut up with that shit. And guess what, Stu Holden? Quit repeating it. You moron, stop repeating that.
Mouthpieces. No, I thought Lewis did nothing but sit on the line and do nothing. When the ball was played over to him, he danced on the ball for a second and then either kicked it off of the defender or played it back to Vines. He didn't do anything with it. He didn't break up the defense. He didn't create opportunities. Who did break up the defense a lot better than him, and he came in later in the game, was Gio Caccini. The problem with Gio Caccini is that he just failed to be able to cross the ball.
But he's not a very good crosser.
Saying that he did split the defense quite a few times.
Yep.
Now, if only he would have ran at it with pace and tried to take a shot, and he did that, and he hit the post one time, but he did that significantly better than Lewis did, and yet Lewis started. Why?
I don't get it, and leave it to Lawless to wait until after the game was over to ask a few questions about or say a few critical things. That guy might have just tongue bathed Berhalter's butt. That's what he did. And then at the end, he's like, well, yeah, it was all right. We got the win. And, it's just, Lawless is such an unoriginal motherfucker. He's so unoriginal. It's easy to predict exactly what he's going to say pregame and postgame. And he does it the same way every time. And he's the same tone, the same arrogant, snide sort of tone that he uses. All right, I probably have said enough about it.
What's funny is, and I sent you a tweet of other people recognizing this,
yes,
and then bringing up certain people to listen to instead. And I laughed on the response. I laughed, and I'm like, man, that's like half of the shit that we talked via text during the game was about the pundits and about how much it's, well, oh, Lewis didn't get that cross, but he's still having a good game. It's just like, oh my fucking hell. Can you guys criticize anything?
No, I mean,
it's unreal.
Even look at Wallace's, as they put it, positional question segment before the game. His positional question segment, thankfully Mo fixed it. He said the positional question segment, he said goalkeeper. No, goalkeeper's not a positional. It's three guys, Turner, Horvath, and Stefan, battling for the first spot. That's not a positional question at all. That's just them working it out. That's not a question. Then he said center back. We got Brooks and one question mark. And that one question mark could be Miles Robinson, Matt Miazga, Aaron Long when he's healthy. That's not a fucking positional question either. It's just a matter of who's going to slot. It could be Richards. We just got to wait and see who slots in. Then he said striker, and he finally got something right. Yeah, we're waiting to see who the number one striker is going to be, Sargent or DK.
And here's the problem. It seems, after watching a number of games for Berhalter at the helm and playing with a 9 and a 4-3-3, that regardless of the players, the striker, the center striker, is ignored outside of the fact that he checks back, tries to hold on the ball with his back to the goal, but he's overall ignored in the attack.
Yeah.
I mean, Zardes had a couple of opportunities that he either failed to connect with the ball or just take in general, but DK came in, he had no opportunities at all.
Nope.
And it's just the 9 might as well be a traffic cone at this point.
Yeah.
Nobody is, and I'm not even blaming the player playing that position. I mean, I blame Zardes for his misses and stuff like that. But outside of his nice assist he had today,
which Wallace even failed to recognize as an accidental assist. What an idiot!
So the point of this, not to really shit on Zardes so much here. He was keeping the ball alive. He had no idea Vines was back there, and he got deflected. He took a touch, went up and over. It looked good.
He stuck out his foot. That's it. That's all he did. And the ball hit his foot.
I want to believe that he was actually trying to trap the ball, because that would be more realistic.
It probably would be. But you know what? Thank God for Maurice Adu, who saved the segment by talking about the real critical question on the United States men's national team right now. And that is, who's backing up Tyler Adams? Because Dumbo, redhead Dumbo, and nothing against redheads, Wallace is just a dumb moron. Thank God Maurice Adu was there to save the segment, because he said the real question, besides striker, is the center holding midfielder spot behind. Who's backing up Adams when he pulls another hammy or has a sports hernia? That's exactly the most important position to worry about, and we haven't solved it yet, folks.
Well, at this point, we could go and scratch off Yule's name. I defended him in the past, but after watching so many more games of him playing, I simply can't defend it anymore.
No.
So take Yule out of the equation. You throw Acosta back there, but Berhalter sees Acosta as an 8 or wing back, depending on the formation. I'm actually inclined to keep trying out, say, a Busio or a Williamson at this point.
Yeah.
Let's give them another chance.
Yeah, I'm willing.
Especially with the upcoming game. Do not start Yule. We know what he brings to us, and quite frankly, in the limited time that they had, Williamson and Busio did so much more.
Do you notice how slow Yule is too? He's like the not quickest person I've ever seen playing that position. I thought Bradley was slow, but this guy, as Bradley aged, but this guy he's young and he's slow. We can't have a guy that slow who has, he made one really good anticipatory stop today or steal, but you can't say that he had any more than that.
He had a couple other plays where he did a couple cuts in or around the box and got around one or two players and sort of maintained possession. That scared the shit out of me when he did it, but he did do it because at any point a toe could have poked that in our 18. But saying that he successfully did it and maintained possession, I'm not going to say that his entire game was bad. I'm going to say 85-90% of it was bad.
Right. Exactly. And unless you have anything to add, I guess we're going to go to the next segment.
The last thing I wanted to bring up really was Turner. His performance. And I think Turner is an excellent goalkeeper, except when the ball is at his feet.
Yeah.
Then that started scaring the shit out of me again.
He's a baseball player, you know?
Yeah.
So, he's going to take some time.
He had a key stop at the end of the game. There should have been a foul on him. My guess is if a goal would have occurred, they probably would have looked it over on VAR and probably called it back. But quite frankly, it was still a phenomenal play on his part there. But yeah, anytime that the ball went back to him on his feet, I'm just like, just get rid of the ball. Just get rid of the ball. Please just get rid of the ball.
And for the most part, Brett, he did get rid of the ball.
Yeah.
He just booted it up the field because, and that's not going to make Greg very happy because Greg wants to play brave out of the back. And I prefer Turner just booting the fucker down the field. Personally.
Sometimes there's nothing wrong with playing a direct game, playing a boot to your 9 and letting them actually bring it down or slip it or do something.
Yeah.
You don't always have to play it out because we saw it in the last 15 minutes plus of the game where Haiti was practically on our defensive third for the entire stint because we kept trying to play it out and then we get congested and then we'd have to boot it. They'd recover the ball and bring it back down. So sometimes it's good to play a little direct. You got to mix it up. Otherwise, you're going to be caught on it.
Yeah. Eventually, they're going to catch you if they keep high pressing and if you're Matt Turner and you're not really good with your feet, which he isn't, it's better just to boot that fucker out sometimes. And that's what he did, thankfully, plenty of times tonight. And it probably saved us some serious errors in the back.
Yeah.
And maybe a goal. But then, of course, there was a couple times where Turner said, no, I'm going to try to do the Greg thing. And he almost got caught.
He got caught one time. Fortunately, he was just off to the right of the goal and the deflected ball never went anywhere near it. But that's what we're saying,
Yeah. And if that had happened and that had hurt us and we ended the game 1-1 because of that, that would have been because the very echo of Greg Berhalter's comments to Turner were echoing between Turner's ears and his brain telling him, oh, I got to play brave. I got to play brave instead of playing smart and just getting that ball the fuck out of there.
There's a reason why Berhalter calls him up. He's doing well at the club level.
He's a great shot stopper.
Let him do what he does. It may not be what you want necessarily, and you may have to play a little direct here and there. But why are you calling him up if that's not the case? I don't know. It seems like a dumb idea.
I don't know. Maybe Greg thinks he can turn him into, something that he's not. But we'll see about that as things go forward. I still think he's a great shot stopper. I think he commands the box really well. I think he's really good at organizing defenses. But if you want him to be fucking Pele back there, that ain't happening anytime soon. All right. We're going to move on to the next segment. Again, like it, share it, subscribe it, whatever. Do all those things. This ain't my thing. Until the next time on the Straight Red Card, we are going to be doing the player-by-player ratings for this game. So tune in for that. Until then, hey, have a jolly good time.